Sarah Platt has admitted to the police that she was responsible for Theo Silverton's death in Coronation Street, insisting that she acted purely in self-defense. Sarah, one of the soap's longest-serving characters, struck Theo with a heavy object before he fell from the roof of the builder's yard earlier this year. The fatal confrontation happened shortly after Theo launched into a series of cruel insults aimed at Sarah. Their relationship had already become deeply hostile because Sarah knew about the emotional and psychological abuse Theo had inflicted on her close friend Todd Grimshaw during their relationship. On the night of Theo's death, Sarah phoned her former partner Gary in a panic before returning home, where she was unexpectedly attacked and knocked unconscious by Jodie Ramsey. Since Sarah later confessed everything to Kit, he has been desperately trying to protect her by shifting police suspicion toward Gary. Despite his efforts, Sarah has now been remanded in custody and formally charged with Theo's murder. During Friday's episode, Sarah was questioned by DS Lisa Swain, who remained unconvinced by Sarah's version of events. Trying to explain herself, Sarah said she could barely remember making the phone call to Gary. She admitted that she initially wanted to tell him what had happened, but the moment he answered, she realized involving him would only make the situation worse and decided she couldn't ask for his help. Lisa continued pressing Sarah about the evidence, particularly asking what had happened to the weapon used to strike Theo. Since Gary had already disposed of it, Sarah simply claimed she had no memory of where it had gone. Later, at the rover's return, Lisa and Kit discussed the investigation. Lisa pointed out that Sarah's decision to contact her ex-boyfriend instead of Kit suggested she trusted Gary more than the detective. Back in prison, Sarah spoke to Kit over the phone and insisted she could never drag Gary into the case, a decision that clearly frustrated him. Believing she was ruining his future, Sarah tried to end their relationship, asking him instead to look after Harry and Bethany. Before ending the conversation, Sarah also warned Kit that Jodie was an extremely dangerous person and urged him to stay as far away from her as possible. The dramatic scenes immediately sparked debate among Coronation Street viewers, with many questioning whether Sarah was truly responsible for Theo's death. One viewer suggested that now Kit knows Jodie attacked Sarah on the night of the incident, he could attempt to frame Jodie as Theo's real killer. The fan also pointed out the irony of Sarah describing Jodie as dangerous while she herself was awaiting trial for murder. Another fan shared a different theory, arguing that Sarah may not have killed Theo at all. They speculated that Theo could have been attacked again while lying unconscious, possibly by his own son, and believed the ongoing storyline involving the life insurance payout was likely to become significant. A third viewer responded by noting that such a twist would contradict the post-mortem findings, which confirmed Theo had already died before falling from the roof. They added that, if the writers wanted another culprit, characters such as Millie or Miles would seem more believable, while also hoping Todd eventually receives the life insurance money he deserves. Coronation Street's Lisa Swain delivers stark warning after Sarah's murder admission. Coronation Street took another dramatic turn as Lisa Swain finally uncovered the truth behind Theo Silverton's death, but her chilling warning afterward left Sarah Platt's future looking even more uncertain. The episode began with Maria Connor visiting Sarah in prison after discovering that her friend had confessed to killing Theo. During their emotional conversation, Maria questioned why Sarah had turned to Gary Windass for help instead of contacting her boyfriend, Kit Green. Sarah insisted she had been in a state of panic and claimed she had never actually mentioned Gary's name, though Maria remained doubtful. Not long afterward, Lisa Swain arrived at the prison to question Sarah herself. She revealed that detectives had examined Sarah's phone records from the night Theo died, giving them a clearer picture of her movements. Although Sarah initially maintained to Maria that she was innocent, she eventually admitted to Lisa that she had been responsible for Theo's death. Sarah explained that after the fatal confrontation, she returned to number 8, where she was attacked and left unconscious. When Lisa confronted her about the phone call made to Gary, Sarah insisted she could hardly remember making it because everything had happened so quickly. Lisa was unconvinced by the explanation. She pointed out that Sarah had just killed someone and would naturally have reached out to a person she trusted. She also suggested that Gary's troubled past meant he would likely know exactly how to hide evidence or cover up a serious crime. Trying to defend herself, Sarah claimed the conversation with Gary had simply been about finding a racing game for one of the children. Even though she named a real game, Lisa refused to believe anyone would discuss something so ordinary immediately after such a traumatic event. Later, Sarah spoke with Kit over the phone from prison and explained that she would not allow anyone else to suffer because of her actions. She made it clear that she intended to keep Gary's involvement a secret and asked Kit to look after Harry and Bethany if anything happened to her. Before ending the call, Sarah also urged Kit to stay away from Jodie, warning that she was an extremely dangerous person and should be kept far from the family. Lisa made it clear that standing by Sarah could have serious consequences, leaving Kit with an impossible choice between his professional duty and the woman he loves. Whether Kit follows Lisa's advice or continues fighting to protect Sarah remains one of the biggest questions heading into the next chapter of the murder storyline. Coronation Street reveals big return as Shona and Jodie's story takes another twist. Coronation Street has announced the return of an important character as the ongoing storyline involving Shona Platt and Jodie Ramsey continues to unfold. Over the past few months, Jodie has gradually worked her way back into Shona's life, with Shona repeatedly overlooking her sister's lies and manipulative behavior. In next week's episodes, Jodie finally admits that she was the person who attacked Sarah Platt on the night of Theo Silverton's death. However, she also reveals that she has nowhere to live while waiting to face police over her actions. Her troubles don't stop there, as she secretly begins pretending to be Shona on an online parenting forum, creating yet another layer of deception. As the drama intensifies, Julia Goulding has confirmed that Doug Ramsey will soon return to Weatherfield. The actor explained that exploring Shona's family history has been one of the most rewarding parts of the storyline and praised working alongside Steve Evitz, saying it has helped bring the complicated Ramsey family relationships to life. She also hinted that viewers are about to discover much more about the family's past when Doug returns, suggesting that his comeback will reveal long-hidden secrets that explain why both Shona and Jodie have become the people they are today. Julia reflected on Shona's emotional struggles, explaining that her character should not blame herself for everything that has happened between the sisters. She pointed out that Shona was only a young teenager when she was forced to leave home, leaving her with years of unresolved guilt. According to Julia, that guilt extends beyond Jodie and also includes everything that happened with Clayton. She believes those painful experiences have left Shona with a deep fear of letting down the younger people she cares about. Looking ahead, Julia shared her hopes for Jodie's future, saying she expects plenty more chaos before any happiness arrives. Once the drama settles, she would like to see Jodie finally discover who she really is and build an honest, trusting relationship with Shona after everything they have been through together.